Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Come on, all of you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you so much. So we'll start. Whoever wants to read can raise your hand. I do not know if we can complete this, but we can give it a try. Yeah. Yeah, please go ahead. So Arjuna's return journey, right? And what does he see? He gets to see, obviously he's coming. With whom is he returning? Akrura.
Balarama and Krishna.
Haribol, very nice. Yeah, and from where is he returning and to where?
From Vrindavan to Kamsa's place, Mataji.
Absolutely. So Vrindavan to where? Which place? Kamsa's place.
Kamsa's place.
Which place? Madura. Right. So that journey is the distance which this conversation is happening. So you all can start reading.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Akrura was warmly received by Lord Krishna and Nand Maharaj and offered a resting place for the night. In the meantime, the two brothers, Balrama and Krishna, went to take their supper. Akrura sat on his bed and began to reflect that all the desires he had contemplated while coming from Mathura to Vrindavan had been fulfilled. Lord Krishna is the husband of the goddess of fortune. Being pleased with his pure devotee, he can offer whatever the devotee desires. But the pure devotee does not ask anything from the Lord for his personal benefit. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. You can, so basically, Akrura is a very loyal devotee of Krishna. But he never asks anything, right? He just sat because he is such a pure devotee, which is why he is waiting and working with Kamsa. In spite of that, his heart and mind is always with for Krishna. So even though he is doing the very adharmic work, right? So we say the love should be anukulam, right? Favorable. But his love, though is anukulam, appears to be pratikulam, right? What will you be? Would you like to meet your friend in his enemy's court? No, right? We'll secretly meet. But here, see, he is working with Krishna's enemy because he feels there's a chance to meet. Yeah, you can go ahead with the next para. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. After taking their supper, Krishna and Balrama came to bid good night to Akrura and asked him how Kamsa was dealing with their friends and relatives. Krishna then inquired into Kamsa's plan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then informed Akrura that his presence was very welcome. He inquired from him whether all his relatives and friends were well and free from all kinds of ailments. Krishna stated that he was very sorry that his maternal uncle Kansa was the head of the kingdom. He said that Kansa was the greatest anomaly in the whole system of government and that they could not expect any welfare for the citizens while he ruled. Then Krishna said, Yes, Mataji?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Ma.
My father has undergone so much tribulation simply from my being his son. For this reason also he has lost many other sons. I think myself so fortunate that you have come as my friend and relative. My dear Uncle Akrura, please tell me the purpose of your coming to Vrindavana. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So he's very sweet. He's just inquiring how they are because Krishna is also very curious to have a person. Obviously, Krishna knows as Paramatma. However, he would like to know what is happening there. And he says that, to have somebody like Kamsa as the head of the kingdom is the most abominable thing which can happen, because if the ruler is bad, the whole system will go bad. Today, it's a different situation. We have a ruler, we appreciate him. We don't like him, we will not vote for him. Again, we will get influenced by the tidbits he gives just before elections, vote for him and get ourselves in trouble and get him also in trouble. Right. So, but those days, though it appears to be autocracy, but there was so much of dharma in that rule. Today we call about democracy, but I do not understand what democracy, because I don't think we have any access to anything which we actually need, not only we, for the common good of the people. But the leaders used to always have common good in mind. Yeah. So now he's asking, what is the purpose of you coming? Yeah. Aishi, go ahead. And whoever wants to read, please have your hands raised. Yeah, you
Hare
continue.
Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Pranam everyone. After this inquiry, Akrura, who belonged to the dynasty of Yadu, explained the recent event in Mathura, including Kamsa's attempt to kill Vasudeva, the father of Krishna. He related the things which had happened after the disclosure by Narada that Krishna was the son of Vasudeva, hidden by Vasudeva in the house of Nanda Maharaja. Akrura narrated all the stories regarding Kamsa. He told how Narada had met Kamsa and how he himself was dictated by Kamsa to come to Vrindavana. Akrura explained to Krishna that Narada had told Kamsa all about Krishna being transferred from Mathura to Vrindavana just after his birth and about his killing all the demons sent by Kamsa. Akrura then explained to Krishna the purpose of his coming to Vrindavana to take him back to Mathura. After hearing of this arrangement, Balram and Krishna, who are very expert in killing opponents, mildly laughed at the plan of Kamsa. Mother, should I go for next paragraph also?
Yeah, no. Actually, I'll explain this so that you'll have more, interest for the next para. So I'll try and create that. So what happens is Akrura, obviously, he also belongs to the dynasty of Yadu, and he is now, trying to explain entire events which happens right from the time Krishna left. So he says Narada comes and he discloses the secret that you're the actual son, eighth son, who actually has to show Mrityu to Kamsa. So after knowing this, he was so upset that he literally tried killing, the father, actual father, Vasudev. And he also explains to Krishna as to why he has come there and why he wants to take. And Balram and Krishna, after listening to who are all the experts who have been, who have been assigned, they start the mild laugh, but they're not trying to exhibit it. Why? Because obviously nobody can come close, but look at Kamsa. For children who's 10.5 years and probably just around that age, two boys, right? Would anybody be so scared that they will create so much of plan, backup A, backup 2, backup C, because he had the elephant first. If that fails, he decided he will have them killed by the the people in Malyud and all that, who are very heavy people who are used to, killing people in no time in terms of elders. Those kinds of plans were devised by Kamsa. So obviously, that put them in a bit of, an expression. Yeah, go ahead. Continue, Aishi. And after that, Sabita will do next two paras. You can go ahead and continue this. I'm not able to hear you. You have to unmute. I think there's some problem. Sabita, go ahead and...
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay, let Aishi read and then I'll
No problem. So Aishi, continue. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. They immediately informed Nanda Maharaja that Kamsa had invited all the coward men and boys to go to Mathura to participate in the ceremony known as Dhanu Yagna. Kamsa wanted them all to go there to participate in the function. On Krishna's word, Nanda Maharaj at once called for the coward men and asked them to collect milk and all kinds of milk products to present to the king in the ceremony. He also sent instructions to the police chief of Vrindavana to tell all the inhabitants about Kamsa great Dhanur Yagna function and invite them to join. Nanda Maharaja informed the coward men that they would start the next morning. They therefore arranged for the cows and bulls to carry them all to Mathura. Mataji, should I read next paragraph also?
No, we'll give chance to her, right? Hare Krishna,
Yes,
and then
Mataji.
we'll come back.
Thank you,
So
Mataji.
basically all arrangements are taken care. Police, information, milk, gifts, all are getting ready for the, that whatever they said, Dhanur Yagna is nothing but that Rangastan where they are actually going to have the wrestling ceremony. Yes, ma, go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. When the gopis heard that Akrura had come to take Krishna and Balarama away to Mathura, they became overwhelmed with anxiety. Some of them became so aggrieved that their faces turned black and they began to breathe warmly and had palpitations of the heart. They discovered that their hair and clothes immediately loosened. Hearing the news that Krishna and Balarama were leaving for Mathura, Others, who were engaged in household duties, stopped working as if they had forgotten everything, like a person who is called forth to die and leave this world at once. Others immediately fainted due to the separation from Krishna. Remembering his attractive smile and his talks with them, the gopis became overwhelmed with grief. They all remembered the characteristics of the personality of Godhead, how he moved within the area of Vrindavana, and how with his joking words he attracted all their hearts. Thinking of Krishna and of their imminent separation from him, the gopis assembled together with heavily beating hearts. They were completely absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, and with tears falling from their eyes, they spoke as follows. Should I continue, Mataji?
Yeah, so now yes, you will, but just one moment. So what the strange thing which is happening is they are not even aware that they are going for good. They're just thinking that they're going for a very short period, and Vrindavan and Madura is not that far, right? Which is why Akrura comes from morning through evening by bullock cart, and he's going to take them back in the chariot. Obviously, not that they had flight then, but I'm just saying. So in spite of that, so it's just a half a day or a 1 day max journey. I would rather call it a a half journey. But then, in spite of that, they were not able to even think of that kind of a separation. Hare Krishna. Esma, continue.
O Providence, you are so cruel. It appears that you do not know how to show mercy to others. By your arrangement, friends contact one another, but before they can fulfill their desires, you separate them. This is exactly like a child's game that has no meaning. It is very abominable that you arrange to show us beautiful Krishna, whose bluish curling hair beautifies his broad forehead and sharp nose, and who is always smiling to minimize all grief in this material world, and then to arrange to separate him from us. O Providence, you are so cruel. But most astonishingly, you appear now as Akrura, which means not cruel. In the beginning, we appreciated your workmanship in giving us these eyes to see the beautiful face of Krishna. But now, just like a foolish creature, you are taking away our eyes by not letting us see Krishna here anymore. Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaja, is also very cruel. He must always have new friends. He does not like to keep friendship for a long time with anyone. We gopis of Vrindavana, having left our homes, friends, and relatives, have become Krishna's maid servants, but he is neglecting us and going away. He does not even look upon us, although we are completely surrendered unto him. Now, all the young girls in Mathura will have the opportunity. They are expecting Krishna's arrival, and they will enjoy his sweet, smiling face and will drink his honey. Although we know that Krishna is very steady and determined, we are afraid that as soon as he sees the beautiful faces of the young girls in Mathura, he will forget himself. We fear he will become controlled by them and will forget us. For we are simple village girls. He will no longer be kind to us. We therefore do not expect Krishna to return to Vrindavana. We will not leave the company of the girls in Mathura. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So Vrindavan is like a smaller village and Mathura is like more like a city. So just take, for instance, somebody it's like the prime thing, right? So if you take Mumbai and if you take a small place, even Pune has become big now, but then it used to be a very small town. So what they are talking about is, if they go there, they're so confident that Krishna will completely forget all the friends and relatives because we're all like maidservants, right? But because over there, people will be all in the, like all very well dressed and all that. So they are so upset with Akrura because they are first remembering Krishna, how beautiful he looks, his curly eyes, his curly hair, his lovely eyes, his shade, his complexion, lovely features, broad forehead, sharp features, all of them, they are just trying to remember. And they're saying that and now they're upset with Lord also. Providence, they are referring to Lord. They're saying Lord is so cruel that they are not showing mercy on us, right? today we are not able to even today we are with him. It's child, like a child's game, right? They'll talk and they'll make a house with the mud and they'll break it like that, with so much love we have created, and now he's just trying to break the relationship by taking Krishna away to this. And they are so upset with the Akrura. They call that you're so cruel, now you appear as Akrura. So basically, they are trying to not even blame Akrura. They feel that everything which is done by people cannot be done without God. So even when they are cursing, they are having this link to the Lord directly. So he said that initially we were appreciating that you had given this lovely eyes to see. Now I feel, like a foolish creature. What's the point in having this eye when I can't see even Krishna? Right? So they feel that everything has to be for the service of the Lord, right? And Krishna is son of Maharaj. He is also very cruel. Now, besides them, they're also telling. Now, he's telling that he will go, he will make new friends. He will not keep in touch with us. We are here. We left home. We left family. We left everything and we are after him. And he will not bother because there'll be very smart young girls in Madura. Now, he will go there and he will drink the nectar. Drink in the sense he will enjoy and relish the company of them, and we'll be totally forgot him. So they've started multiple, the mind, when the mind is puzzled, it goes in all directions. So they are like thinking in all directions now. They're angry with the God. They are angry with Krishna also. They are angry with the girls in Madura. The fear, they have this insecurity, all that has crept them. Hare Krishna. Yeah, who's going for the next two paras? Anybody would like to read?
Shall I continue, Mataji?
Yeah, go ahead. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
The gopis began to imagine the great functions in the city of Mathura. Krishna would pass through the streets, and the ladies and young girls of the city would see him from the balconies of their respective houses. Mathura city contained different communities known then as Dasara, Boja, Andaka, and Satvata. All these communities were different branches of the same family in which Krishna appeared, namely the Yadu dynasty. They were all expecting the arrival of Krishna. It had been already ascertained that Krishna, who is the resting place of the goddess of fortune and the reservoir of all pleasure and transcendental qualities, was going to visit Mathura city. The gopis then began to condemn the activities of Akrura. They stated that he was taking Krishna, who was more dear than the dearest to them and who was the pleasure of their eyes. He was being taken from their sight without being informed of or solaced by Akrura. Akrura should not have been so merciless, but should have taken compassion on them. The gopis went on to say the most astonishing feature is that Krishna, the son of Nanda, without consideration, has already seated himself on the chariot. From this, it appears that Krishna is not very intelligent. Yet he may be very intelligent, but he is not very merciful. Not only Krishna, but also all the coward men are so callous that they are already yoking the bulls and calves for the journey to Mathura. The elderly persons in Vrindavana are also merciless. They do not take our plight into consideration and stop Krishna's journey to Mathura. Even the demigods are very unkind to us. They are also not impeding his going to Mathura.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the beautiful reading. So very quickly, what they are telling is Yadu dynasty. Everybody is a part and parcel of Yadu dynasty. So the four main divisions are Dasharha, Bojas, Andaka, and Satvata. Sorry. So all four are the main branches which are branching out. So what they are telling is all are relatives, right? The bloodline is there. So he will obviously be stuck there. And he also says that everybody is waiting. And although Lakshmi, right, goddess of fortune, is with all qualities, right? That's Krishna's resting place, right? So everything there are like super clear on the plan. Now what they're telling is Akrura is so rude. Not only Akrura, the coward boys are also idiots. They also don't have sense. They are packing Krishna off. On top of it, Nand Maharaj and the senior people are also not having sense. Besides all this, they are also making a statement here. The demigods are very unkind. So what do they mean? Can anyone tell what does it mean? The class has to be interactive. Otherwise, I'll feel bored. You can tell
it shows the love of gopis and Krishna. They couldn't spare
Yeah.
themselves for a
Yeah,
second
very nice.
without him.
Yeah, so they cannot be there. But where is this line telling even the demigods are very unkind? So whom are they referring? They are talking about natural calamities, which means Adi Devika, right? So that means they're telling human beings are unfair, fine, but at least demigods, right, who can create rain or, earthquake or some disturbance which will stop their journey. They are also unkind. They are also not doing any calamity to stop this journey. So this is what they are feeling. We'll continue one para and we'll end with this. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to read this?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Shall I read?
Yeah, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
The gopis prayed to the demigods to create some natural disturbance, such as a hurricane, storm, or heavy rainfall, so that Krishna could not go to Mathura. They then began to consider, despite our parents and guardians, we shall personally stop Krishna from going to Mathura. We have no alternative but to take this direct action. Everyone has gone against us to take away Krishna from our sight. Without him, we cannot live for a moment. The gopis thus decided to obstruct the passage through which the chariot of Krishna was supposed to pass. They began to talk among themselves. We have passed a very long night, which seemed only a moment, engaged in the rasa dance with Krishna. We looked at his sweet smile and embraced him and talked with him. Now how shall we live even for a moment if he goes away from us? At the end of the day, in the evening, along with his elder brother Balaram, Krishna would return home with his friends. His face would be smeared with the dust raised by the hoofs of the cows, and he would smile and play on his flute and look upon us so kindly. How shall we be able to forget him? How shall we be able to forget Krishna, who is our life and soul? He has already taken away our hearts in so many ways throughout our days and nights, and if he goes away, there is no possibility of our continuing to live. Thinking like this, the gopis became more and more grief-stricken at Krishna's leaving Vrindavan. They could not check their minds, and they began to cry loudly, calling the different names of Krishna. Oh dear Damodar, dear Madhav.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Madhuri. So they are now talking about the feeling they are having, and such a lovely timing, right? We are telling, oh dear Damodara, and it is Damodar month. And they are talking about, in spite of parents and guardians, all around, friends, relatives, nobody is stopping and nobody is able to stop, right? He's saying that we have absolutely no alternative but to take this kind of direction. What they're going to do, we will see later. So right now, what they are telling is, for a moment also, we cannot live without him, right? They are saying that even 1 second when they are away, it seems so difficult for them, right? So the whole thing, and they're also trying to recall their experience with rasa dance, right? And they also feel that they've taken a decision now that since nobody is acting, we will go and block the passage which is going to take Krishna, the chariot wheel, and so that Krishna and Balram are obstructed, so that Akrura won't be able to drive them. And they talk about themselves. They're talking about the lovely long nights of rasa dance, and the nights of rasa dance. Can anyone recall as to what is the time duration of the rasa dance in the night? How long is it? Is it like our night or is it longer?
Brahma's night.
Haribol, very nice. It's Brahma's night. So you can imagine it's so long, and and the lovely smile, everything which Krishna has come. Every time they go and come back in the evening, that used to be like a yuga for them, right? And they've been waiting for the whole thing. And that's what even Chaitanya says, right? So if somebody is in that level of bhakti, Yugaidam nimishena chakshusha pavishayana sunyaidam jagat sarvam govinda virerame. So Yugaidam, even if it's a moment, for them, that moment is like yuga, it's like one complete yuga, like Kali Yuga is like that, it's like years together. So he's basically here in this reference, they're talking about 12 years with respect to Shishtastakam. So they're talking about that long. Even the moment is like so many years put together. It's a last but one verse of Chaitanya Prabhu. And so now they are talking about the whole issue which is coming, and they are worried what to do. Thinking of that, now they have all heartbroken and they start crying Damodara and Madhava. Right? So with this, we'll stop and we'll see what happens and what is the strategy they do. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vijay, Srila Prabhupada Vijay, Namacharya Haridas Thakur Vijay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.